What's up, everyone? DJ Anubis here with you on the Military Radio Podcast with another trailer reaction. This time I'm doing 2026's Carrie. It's an Amazon Prime series or miniseries coming out. And what is the date? I think it was October. It said that it's getting released. This is all based upon, of course, the Stephen King novel as well as the original film from 1976 starring Sissy Spacek. Since then, they've done like a reboot with Chloe Moretz, and they also did another reboot with this other girl who did like two films, I think, in the series, like a sequel to her own or something like that. I think I'm pretty sure. But I never saw either one of the remakes. Like I do love Chloe as an actress, but I'm so iffy on remakes, and especially since I love the original Carrie so much. Like to me, the original Carrie's up there with like Jaws. Like you really can't outdo it because it's just a perfect film. And I saw it when I was young, so it terrified the fuck out of me initially. But it's a supernatural horror. It's directed by Mike Flanagan, which he does amazing series. Now, I haven't seen Midnight Mass and some of the other ones like Kevin has. Kevin swears by Midnight Mass. I have not seen it. I don't know yet. I think I watched like the first episode but never got back to it. But The Haunting of Hill House is one of the best Netflix series you'll ever watch. And it's creepy. It's the acting is so good in it. The story's so good. And that lady is like one of the most terrifying ghost you will ever see, and I will never give away who that is, but yeah, check it out if you have not. Flanagan has a talent. He also did Doctor Sleep, which is an amazing sequel to The Shining. So this guy knows what the fuck he's doing. Like he's a very good director. Even the Fall of House of Usher we watched, Neko and I watched and reviewed with Kevin a while back. That was really good as well. So he has a knack for doing very good series. So in terms of Carrie itself, this would probably be pretty good. Now, I'm gonna get into a little bit more about once I watch the trailer about like how I feel about the actress portraying Carrie, because there to me, it's very important how this actress is and looks as far as like the character of Carrie. So let's get into the trailer real quick, and then I'll come back and give some other thoughts to it.
I want to know why. All I ever wanted was to go to school. I never did anything to you. You put in all this effort to make it look like you were my friend. So why not just do that? Why? I know things aren't easy for you either. They're not easy for any of us. And the worst part is that I really could have been your friend.
Okay, they held back a little bit, and this will concern me a little bit. Obviously, I will check this out because it looks good. I like actually like the narration from the girl. It's actually very smart on how the dialogue is there. Again, Flanagan, I trust him immensely with the material, but how far will he push the final act of this film? Because that's the difference. Like, regardless of how you feel about the original or the remakes or whatever, the final act of Carrie serves a lot of purposes. And it's just like a total meltdown by this girl that, is, and kudos here, unlike the two previous actresses, Chloe and the other girl, who are kind of like hotties, this one, she's cute, don't get me wrong, she's cute, but she at least looks like somebody you would pick on. Like they don't glam her up. They don't make her look, too pretty, I guess, in a sense. Like maybe in her own life as a personal person, she's more dolled up or whatever. But for the character, they do the right thing. make her look like she's somebody that was trying to fit in and can't because being picked on. That's what made Spacek so good, because Sissy has this very next door girl kind of look. And so when you watch the original, like you actually feel like, yeah, okay, I can see why, other girls might pick on her because she's not this like beauty prom queen. But then when you allow Sissy's character to flourish and to feel like she's being, when they try to bring her in as like a friend, even though they were doing a prank, she comes out, she blooms. And so Sissy was never like a girl that's going to be like, Margot Robbie or Anna de Armas. She's not that kind of like look or hot. She's cute, pretty, and she has a very endearing quality about her as not just an actress, but as the character of Carrie. So it's believable. And then when it comes to the meltdown at the end, it's terrifying. Like Sissy just took that role and like ran with it. Like that would be forever her biggest role. Obviously she did some other films, but that one will always stand out. And it's why that movie is so special to me, because the director understood his work. He understood what the plot was. He understood like what he had to do to make it believable enough. Like, sure, it's supernatural, which, is not real, but in the context of what's going on in high school life and all that, yes, it had to be somebody that we would believe would be under that kind of immense pressure, not just from students, but from her mother, who's super religious, which sounds like this is kind of going to be the same way in terms of the setup. Now they didn't show, other than like, the fires and like, her fist balling up and stuff like that, but I'm curious how they're going to do that final act, because if it's not going to match what happened in 76, or even, I haven't seen the remakes, but I think they're kind of running around the same way. That's what really makes the film, is that final act. Like it just is. And so but I love the narration there with the girl. I like that she says, everyone goes through problems, I'm not special in that way, that where, my life's the only one that has problems. But she talks about how she wants to be friends and that she would have been a good friend except for the prank. I know I'm giving a little bit away if you haven't seen the Carrie movies at all, but that's kind of like where this goes, and then, but the original Carrie also, unfortunately, there was a couple of people that were initially part of the prank, but then eventually they really grew to like Carrie as a person, like when they got to know her. And then, but unfortunately, if you've ever seen the movie, it doesn't really end too well, because once Carrie kind of loses her control of the telekinetic ability, it's just like a force that cannot be stopped. And so that movie itself is just fucking amazing. So, but Flanagan's amazing. I have a lot of hope for this. I will watch it if Kevin and Jake end up doing a review on their television episodes on this. I will do it with them for sure. But this is, at least they're taking this serious enough about the character itself, the girl, because Chloe's beautiful. They're all beautiful. I don't want to make it sound like these girls are ugly at all. The one like Sissy or this new girl, but when you're paying attention to like how the world views pretty versus non-pretty, you have to pay attention to the details. And so even if this young girl in, what is her name? Summer H. Howell. So even if she's like very pretty in her own personal life, like the way she wears her clothes or her hair or whatever, at least in the story, they're kind of bringing her down to like, okay, yeah, we're going to make it look kind of homely and not, somebody that had friends. That's the whole point, to make her feel like she would be somebody that's being picked on. So you got to believe that believability. So, and I think you even saw like a scene there where she's dancing and her hair is flying. So it looks like, again, it's like another one of those roles where she might have her hair tied back. She's very reclusive, conservative, but then as these kids try to make her feel like she's wanted, she blooms out and becomes very pretty and very beautiful and very free, but only to be betrayed. And so like that's going to play a huge part in the story. Of course, it also adds in the elements of modern day. We got the phones. We didn't have that back then in '76. It was all set up differently. But either way, oh, Matthew Lillard's in this too. Nice. I love Matthew Lillard. So yeah, I like this. I want to watch this. I want to see how it plays out. Give me your thoughts on it. How do you feel about the trailer? Have you looked at it yet? How do you feel about not just the original but the remakes? Like, I have not seen the remakes. You can tell me if they're bad or good. My guess is they wouldn't be very good compared to the original, but I could be wrong. But let me know. Yeah, just let me know how you feel about it all. And we'll see you next time on the Military Podcast. Hit like and subscribe and take care of yourselves.
Before you die.